Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to what is a very exciting video today. Today, it is my first video on MotoGP 19, which has dropped today. It's been released in the UK today. Don't know about anywhere else, but I got it delivered courtesy of base.com. Unfortunately, it didn't come early, but I'm a stingy bugger, and this was the retailer selling it for the cheapest price in the UK. But a few new features on the game: historic riders, dedicated servers, and interestingly, new AI technology with faster and smarter opponents. Now, I've always loved the MotoGP games, not particularly played MotoGP 18 too much because I picked that up sort of about Christmas time, not at the most time to play it, and therefore, when I saw that MotoGP 19 was coming out, I thought I'll snap that up. It's coming out at the perfect time, near the end of my A-level exams, and I can really get into playing it. So, hopefully going to be doing first impressions today and a career mode later on. But without any further ado, we're not going to be listening to music on Spotify today, watching any YouTube, which you are now, coincidentally, or playing COD World at War back compatible. We are going to be playing MotoGP 19. And can I just say, I absolutely love the box art. That picture of Marquez and the pink is just absolutely fantastic. Now, this is the first time I'm playing this, so I've just installed the game. I've just got him from sixth form, and I'm just starting to play it now. So this is completely reaction based. It's completely my first impressions. I've seen a little bit of gameplay, but not a massive amount, possibly 5-10 minutes max of gameplay, so this is very much just a new experience. So, typical milestone logo, as you can imagine. They've done a very good game with a very good job, sorry, with the MotoGP games over the years, so I'm not expecting anything different here in terms of a very good job, but I'm excited to see what else they've brought to the table this year, how differently the bikes ride, and just how the game is how it appears, what new features we've got, and how the game is as a whole, if it's an improvement on MotoGP 18. So, loading things up now. Of course, if this is your first video that you're watching on my channel, I recommend you subscribe. This game will be pretty much daily for the next month or so, I'd guess, on the channel. Also, if you like Snooker 19, you're in for a bit of a double whammy, because that's also pretty consistent on the channel as well. And I love this screen with, of course, Dovi, Mark, and Valley left to right. Lovely stuff. So, yeah, welcome Jonesy. That's my gamer tag. I'm on Xbox One, by the way. You'd probably figure that out pretty quickly, but to address anything that might come up in the comments, yeah, that is my username. So, gamma correction, dark logo in the image should just be visible. Obviously, it doesn't really matter to you. Yeah, okay. Stereo, extended range, yeah, cool. So, difficulty selection. It's quite interesting. It's easy, medium, hard. I mean, that's quite narrow, but we'll go with medium. We can change difficulty in the menu. So we have to make a rider. So I'm going to go ahead and make my rider. I'm sure you're not going to be too interested in that, and then come back when we've made our own rider. So there's our rider created, something I'm quite pleased to see in the game, and it's a nice inclusion. There's a lot of player face, which is absolutely fantastic to choose from, and there's also 2 female face, which I can completely get on the back of. So, number 2 we'll go for, and I can certainly back the inclusion of those female faces. So, yep, we'll continue. And hopefully that should do the job. So, yep, that's fine. All the UE ledge and all that rubbish about privacy policy. We'll accept that without even reading it. So, on the game we have the career mode. Have we still got the manager mode? Just says new career. So, I'll have a quick look at that later on. But we've got the Grand Prix modes as usual. The championship modes, time trial. We've got a lot of historical challenges. I think I'm definitely going to cover those in videos. Graphics editor, that's an interesting one. With liveries and all that sort of stuff. Cool. Multiplayer, esports, and a bit of downloadable content as well. So VIP multiplayer and historical pack. Okay. Do we have to... I'm just going to check this. I hope this isn't a payable DLC to unlock the historic challenges. I think that would be quite disappointing, but we'll have a quick look at this. Do we have to pay to access the historic challenges? Because if we do, as I say, that's quite disturbing. But $3.99. So that's the 1992 season. Right. Okay. I mean, that's not too bad at $3.99, to be fair. But we'll experiment a little bit more with that later on. But I suppose you guys just really want to see what's going on. So, fittingly, with... no, it can't be that you have to pay just for that 92 season, obviously, because as you can see, We have got a wow, and look at how many rides we've got here. We've got Valley on the 2002 Repsol Honda, Max Biaggi, Yukawa, Alex Barros, Kato, Rossi again. Going to see a lot of Rossi here. Biaggi again, Rossi. Fantastic selection. Shane Byrne, nice. Casey Stoner, Danny Pedrosa. Of course, considered a legend now he's retired. Danny again. Simoncelli. Classic, of course, rest in peace to him. Danny again, Valley. Casey Valley again. Marquez, blimey. Imagine Marquez being seen on historical list. Casey Stoner. Jorge Lorenzo. Not the biggest Jorge fan, but there you go. And some really nice riders in there. So we're going to go quite fittingly, really, considering what happened at the weekend. We are going to be picking Danilo Petrucci, who won his first ever Grand Prix at the race. So other conditions, we'll go with clear, because I don't really want anything ridiculous. Tolerant penalties, yeah, fair enough. Manual start management, no, we will play manual starts. And then tyre wear, no, I'm going to turn that off, because I'm not a bigger fan of the tyre wear. And we're going to put the AI about, let's go with 70%, just on the threshold of hard. And we can figure out how we're going to go throughout. So physics, normal, auto brakes off, short joint brakes, yes, put those on. Off track help, no. Trajectory, semi-auto, and rewinds on. But we can change that throughout. I just want to see how we get on here. So interestingly, this is quite nice. I do like this. So we can pick what practice sessions we're doing. In this situation, we're just going to do the race. But I do quite like that you can just pick the sessions that you're doing. Pick and choose rather than on a lot of games or previous MotoGP games. Been right. You'll do all the practice sessions and all the qualifying sessions. But it's quite nice. You can pick and choose one practice session. Of course, FP3 being the most important one, which decides the 10 riders that automatically get through to Q2. Along with the 2, of course, that qualify from Q1. But I'm very excited to get going. A classic feature, really, of these games is that it does take quite a while to load the circuits. While that's loading, I'll leave you for a second and then come back when the Grand Prix has loaded.
Hi motorcycle race fans tuning in. Today's MotoGP race is being held in the hills of Tuscany, where the Italian Grand Prix is about to start. The weather forecasts are very reassuring. We'll have sunny weather for the entire duration of the race.
Is that Keith Ewan? Keith Ewan on a MotoGP game, I love it! It's usually, what's his name? Is it Gavin? What's his name? Oh, I feel like a right twit. But for the first time, Hodgie's in the commentary box. I love it. Fantastic. Oh, I gotta love a bit of Hodgie, ain't you? Not Hodgie. Oh, you twit. Neil Hodgson and Keith Ewan. Yeah. I said Keith Ewan, didn't I? Well, this is a bit interesting. Alex Rins on pole? I don't think so. To be fair, it was quite good last weekend. So Dovey starting second. Where are we starting? I mean, Dovey looks really nice on there. Love it. Really like the graphics. And in, well, 9th is Nakagami. I was about to say I don't think Nakagami will be starting 3rd. But of course, because we didn't qualify, we'll be starting from the back row of the grid. Not quite sure about some of the placings of the riders. Of course, Rossi's had quite a tricky start for the season. Aprilia being up in 8's a little bit generous as well. But Quattararo started off really well. Perhaps the most realistic out of them all is Lorenzo being in 17th. So apologies to any Lorenzo fans, but he's not having the best start to his Honda career. But it's going to be a quick 3-lap race, and we're going to have to try and build our way through the field. So here we go. Bit of Keith in the commentary box. Love it. Here we go then. Oh! Oh wow. Let's start that again. So you don't have to, I don't think you have to hold the clutch in then, obviously. It's just a manual start. I'm sure on 18 you had to hold the clutch in and then you started. I'm fairly sure that was the case anyway. Right, let's try this again. And we are away for our first race on MotoGP 18. Gonna move traction control down a fair amount. But this looks nice so far. Oh. Going a little bit wide on the left here. It's all about getting used to the handling, and we've gone way too wide. But again, this all seems quite crisp and nice, but we've got off to a fairly decent start, to be honest. Oh, tapping the back of the Honda and getting a big tap from Quartararo on the satellite Yamaha, which, funnily enough, at most races has been a lot quicker than the factory Yamaha this season. Nice to see Jorge making a good start from the 6th row up to 13th. The brakes are really testing here. I mean, it's clear that I've got my braking completely wrong because we've gone wide at every corner so far, including that one. And it's going to take quite a bit to get used to this, but I quite like the contact model. It felt a little bit like in 18 where if you made any contact with anyone, you were straight off the bike. So quite happy with that. Quartararo falling away down the grid, so not really sure what that's all about. Not the best way to take that corner, but I don't think the AI is probably at my level, I would say. Certainly once we get used to this. But, oh, whoops, that's the Aprilia tapped out quite a bit. Zarco to the back of the field. I always think it's a shame, really, that Zarco's gone to KTM and isn't performing. Because he is much better than, you know, if you like, being out of the points. But this is quite tricky, you know. It's definitely going to have to be something to get used to. But in a positive stance, what a move that was on Elish, but getting a little bit tricky to hook it up. It's, as I say, going to be a little bit of a task to sort this out. I'm not quite sure what AW and EB are. I'm a bit confused by that. Interesting that Rabat's doing so well, but look at that run out of the last corner. I'm going to turn traction control off altogether, see how we get on. Dovi took the lead though. Crutchlow, Miller, Rins has fell quite a bit back from his starting position. And look how this Ducati goes on the straight. It's unbelievable. Going to run quite wide and tap Lorenzo. Sorry, Jorge. Whoa, and we're off. Well, it's our first crash of MotoGP 19. You can tell... Oh, we're off again. Just got to be gentle. Of course, we've got no traction control. I just forgot that. I just floored it, so... Oh, blimey, let's turn that up a little bit again, but... Opinions? Oh, here we go. We've crashed once, which means we must crash 20 times. Well, I like it. I have to say, it seems a good challenge at the moment, this does. It seems very realistic. Not easy at all. Definitely something to get used to, which is quite nice. I didn't want it to be too similar in terms of the handling to 18. And it seems the AI are half decent. I mean, we haven't had a chance to really battle with them too much, but when we have had a battle with them and, you know, come across them in the first lap, they've certainly been courteous, but possibly realistic as well, getting out of your way. But, no, this is pretty good. I'm quite pleased, but we are going to end that one there, because we're just at the back. So what I'm going to do is just not restart the race, but I'm going to go onto the Yamaha with Valentino and perhaps go somewhere else. Not really sure where, but again, this is just a first impressions video, just to see how the game is, and that gave a decent impression, but it's a little bit tricky just to base on that what's going on. So, yeah, we'll go with Valley, the Doctor, and we will go, where will we go to? Oh, historical tracks. Oh, okay. Donington, Laguna Seca, and Barcelona. Interesting. I wouldn't mind giving Donington a whiz, but maybe a little bit later on. Assen's always a favourite of mine, so we'll go to Assen with Valley, and we'll make it wet. We'll make it wet, just like the... I'm going to turn the manual start management off, because I think that's a bit of a waste of time. But, interesting. Yeah, of course, we're going to go with the wet, which replicates, of course... was it the 2016 race? Can't remember. Certainly a race a few years ago where Jack Miller, the crazy Aussie, won it on the... I think it was on the Mark VDS bike, wasn't it? That was a real shock, reading it on the Mark VDS Honda. But goodness me, I'm quite looking forward to getting into this game. I really am. You can probably tell that I'm not the best at the moment, but I think a few more races, we'll get into it. And this will be the last one of this first impressions video. But just remember, this is the first in a long line of videos. Doesn't seem like we've got a manager career this year. I might be wrong. When we go into career mode just after this race, I'll query that. If there is a manager career, I intend to do 2 careers. But if there isn't, I think I'll probably do a rider career going from the Rookies Cup, hopefully to GP with ourselves. and then perhaps maybe a championship with one of the top riders, just to get your direct GP action in there just for one season. But I can't get enough of Keith Ewan on the introduction. Is it Gavin Emmett? Is it Gavin Emmett? I can't remember. But wow, it looks very wet and very slippy. But if anybody's going to benefit from this, it's going to be the Doctor. Valentino. Blimey, they like Alex Rins being on pole. Is this the same grid as it was? No, it's not, no. Interesting that Marquez going with the medium rear. The wet medium rear, of course. The choice made by many, probably apart from Morbidelli, it seems, it's that they're on at least one soft wet tyre, if not two. But interesting this will be, see if we can get through the field, and interesting how the bike will handle in the wet as well. I have to say it looks quite nice, quite appealing. And we are away for the Assen GP. It is tipping it down, and we've made a very good start there. Oh, that Suzuki's getting all out of shape. Well, we don't really learn from our last race. We struggle with the braking zones a little bit. I have to say, maybe, is that something I've put on? I'm not quite sure. But it might just be that the previous games had got it a little bit wrong in terms of braking areas. Or either that, or it might just be that I'm a little bit out of practice. But it seems peculiar to be braking too late for all corners. We've just cut that Pramac up completely there at Bagnaia. But look how good of an exit we get out the corner. I know we've got a lot of traction control on, but this bike's seeming to handle it really well. But Vignale's been a lot more daring through there than I would. And look at Espargaro on the Aprilia. I have to say, I think that Milestone quite like Espargaro this year. He seems to be up there quite a bit, as well as Nakagami. I'm not quite sure about that. Toro Nakagami's fairly usually inconsistent and not really up in the top 6 or 7. But we're going to brake late. No, not quite make a move. We probably brake... Ooh, well. We did what Rossi did in Mugello. We're off the bike. That's going to be something I'm going to have to get used to. Oh, well. I think it is just once you go off once, it triggers you going off again. I think possibly using the brake too much. You know, we were turned right in there, got the brakes on, and the bike just went from under us. So, it's nice to see that feature in the game. Again, it increases realisticness and just makes it a little bit more of a challenge. But, you know, it is only the first few races on the game. As I said, I haven't played any of the game before this, but bloody hell. I haven't played any of the game before playing this, but I'm very, very excited and getting my teeth into the lower categories. And to be fair, oh god, we're off again. But playing in the lower categories, through the Rookies Cup, Moto 3, etc., I usually find that quite good to learn the game because you've got less horsepower, obviously, a less CC bike, so less powerful bike. So it allows you to learn the trade. Oh my god, every corner we're going off now. We just haven't learned our lesson. But I have to say, very impressed. As I've said once again, if you guys are looking for daily content on MotoGP, certainly for the foreseeable future, I think this channel might well be the place to get it. I don't know who else is doing MotoGP in terms of YouTubers in the UK, but when I looked on 18, there weren't that many, so hopefully, if you have got a need for MotoGP, if you've got a bit of a desire to watch it, then hopefully I can make that, you know, make that up for you and provide some good entertainment. As I said, you know, there's plenty of other sport content on the channel, planning to bring other sport content throughout the summer, and getting into this a little bit now. Again, I think MotoGP is a very tricky one to get into. You've got to have the perfect, not necessarily mindset, but the perfect combination and just know the handling bang on. And it doesn't really make it hard easier that we've got the pressure of being on YouTube and we're doing this in the wet. Probably not the best thing to do in a first impressions video, but we're going to come out of this again. And I'm going to go to the main menu, just have a quick look at career mode. Not quite sure if we've just got the bog standard career mode this year, or whether we've also got a manager mode that have been in the last few games. So career, new career. Okay, so we've got two careers. We've got the standard, well, yeah. So, we've got the standard career, you can set riding aids. The pro career is just so realistic, it's unbelievable. So it looks like, okay, yeah, so you pick your out debut category. It doesn't look like we've got a manager career this year, which is a little bit of a shame. But, oh well, we've got Quattararo, of course, on the picture on the left, and the reigning champion Marquez on the right, of course, the rookie and the champ. So, interesting stuff, but that's going to be my first impressions. You know, fairly short, but it's always worth being short and sweet with these things. And there'll be plenty of content out on the channel in the next few days. If you're watching this on Thursday night, don't worry. Make sure to subscribe, though. There won't be any any content out until tomorrow. I've got an exam in the morning, so unlikely I'm going to get any time to record anything before then. But there will be the first career mode episode out tomorrow. So, if you enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like on the video. Comment down below your thoughts on the game and anything I got wrong there, because there's bound to be one fact I got wrong. I mean, I am a GP fan, but I'm not a real hardened GP fan like I probably am with Formula 1. But nevertheless, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to subscribe for daily MotoGP 19 content. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.